Welcome to an authentic look at the real, extraordinary people defining our north of normal metro. Discover the characters in the city of frost and fire. I am Conrad Fargo, and this is the Fargo Five. We're here with Russell Schell, owner of RJ Energy Solutions. Hello, Russell.
Hello.
So that's definitely a German name, Schell.
That is correct.
Yeah, a little bit of a tongue test for all that S in there. Russell Schell. That's hard to come out the gate with that. A lot of energy there. So you are a military man?
I am.
And lived in California for quite a while.
Lived in California for a little while.
How long were you out on the West Coast?
I was in California for 3 years, Portland for 12 years, Seattle for 3 years.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's a long time outside of Fargo, although you started in south of Bismarck.
South Bismarck.
It was military that took you out there?
Small town of Selfridge. No, I'm the youngest in my family. My parents, my dad bought a gas station out in Libby, Montana.
Yeah.
And me and my sister were still at home, so we moved out to Libby, Montana with them. When they retired, they moved back to North Dakota, and I decided to stay out in the Pacific Northwest. And then it would have been 2007 is when I thought it was time to come back home to North Dakota, Fargo.
Yeah.
And so here I am.
Well, I want to know more about that. So you're bebopping all around Oregon, Seattle, Washington, California, up and down. What is it that says it calls you back home? How is it that you go back to Fargo?
So how we go back to Fargo? So 1981, graduated from high school. In 83, I joined the military where I was stationed at Hill Air Force Base for 4 years. And after that, I went out to California, worked at Lockheed Space Missile Company.
Oh, my.
And I've got 2 kids as well, but worked out the Lockheed Missile Space Company, did a lot of, when the Hubble Telescope was being built.
Yeah.
We were there working on the clean rooms, working on the
Lockheed built the Hubble.
Lockheed built the Hubble, yep.
I only think of them as like defense contractors building explosives and weaponry, but they build telescopes too.
They got the telescope, yep.
I didn't know that.
We were able to see that as it was being built, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
when that was going on.
Very cool.
And then after the California, went back to Montana for a little while, and I owned a gas station with my refrigeration heating business. And then
that was your parents' gas station first.
My parents, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
but so they called you back home, or why leave sunny California?
Well, my dad he sold it and he had to take the gas station back. And then he was looking to retire.
Yeah.
And so we thought, well, we give this here gas station a shot.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing that happened was the refrigeration heating business was going extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to sell a gas station, and I got hit with an environmental cleanup.
Oh.
And so that was extremely costly, extremely stressful.
Okay.
So I sold my company to a company called Johnson Controls.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bought my tools and paid me out for my customers. So that took me to Spokane, Washington, and then eventually out to Portland. Then I was a service technician for 20-some years behind a van, and then I went to the office 2000.
Yeah.
And then Mom and Dad, my dad passed away in 2005, Mom passed away in 2006, and so all my family's here in North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
So it was that time to come back and get reunited with my family.
Yeah.
And so far, now we've been here for 17 years, so it's been a pretty good move because since I've been back here, I did start my own business back in 2013. And so
it was family that called you back home, basically.
Yep, absolutely family,
your parents both passed away,
yep.
and you said, I want to be closer to my brothers and sisters, and maybe be more supportive of them. How many siblings do you have, or what kind of family was it that called you back?
So what I got? I got a brother that lives here in Fargo, another brother in Oaks, got a sister that lives in Bismarck, a sister lives here, and a sister that lives in Deadwood. And
wow. Big
and I
family.
probably have, I don't know, maybe around 50 nieces and nephews that are right around this area. So, yeah.
And you just wanted to be part of the family, be closer to family. And so then you hung out a shingle. You said, okay, I'm back in Fargo. And then like the first thing you did was how did you just say to yourself, I'm going to start RJ Energy Solutions?
So I was working here for a Train Corporation company here in Fargo. And when things didn't go quite as planned, I was looking to possibly go back to Johnson Controls.
Oh.
But then met with Johnson Controls in Milwaukee. On my way back home, I decided I wanted to do something else.
Yeah.
I would have to say that when I got home and we were sitting on my deck where I like to do a lot of barbecuing and things like that. You know, my wife was just kind of wondering where we were going to end up with John's Controls, and that's when I said, I think I want to start my own business.
Had you been thinking of that for a long while, or was it just like, you know what, this isn't working out, let's go for the Hail Mary, let's go do something crazy? Like where?
Yep. And the thing about it is there's always been something in my stomach that there was just something I wanted to try. It's always been on my mind to do two things, and I thought, you know, go on your own and give it a shot. And right now, it's working out. So.
And you'd been working for other people your whole life. You'd ran the gas station, but that was kind of your father kind of handed the reins over to you, right?
Yeah.
And this was you're starting over from square one.
Yep.
Square one. You're like, you know what? Let's hang out a shingle. That was what, 15 years ago?
That would have been 11 years ago.
11 years ago. Yep. You say you're on the deck. You look at your wife and you say, you know what? Let's not have a job.
Yep.
Did she have a job at the time, or what?
Yep.
And so you said, you're going to be the only one with a real paycheck around here. I'm going to go and start my own thing. Is that
my wife Lisa? She works at Royal Jewelers.
Yeah.
Downtown Fargo here.
Okay.
So,
oh yeah. Is she a salesperson there, or what does she do?
She is the office manager there.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well.
Very cool. And was that her position at the time?
Yes.
So she was managing Royal Jewelers. She had a real steady paycheck, not commission-based or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like she's really receiving money, and you turn her and you say, honey, no more paychecks from me for a while.
Yep. We're going to give up that free car. We're going to give up that insurance benefits. We're going to give up that credit card. We're going to give up those vacations.
How did she react to that?
Not very well. It was pretty quiet for the next couple of weeks, but now she's okay with it.
But so she was against it, but you said, I'm going to go forward anyway. And so you sat down, and what does it look like saying to yourself, I'm going to hang out a shingle? Like, what was the very first thing you did?
The very first thing I did was, had to write down what is I'm going to do. What's the name of this business going to be?
Yeah.
I'm not when it comes to create, I'm going to say pretty creative, but at the same time, artistic wise, business name, I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
What's our motto? I have no idea. But I started writing those things down. One thing I could always revert back to is my HVAC experience. So I can always go back and do, heating and cooling jobs while I'm trying to do some inventions that I'm working on. So that was always some income that was always coming in. And right now we're at that point of now starting to look at hiring people, those types of people but when you're developing product, you're not making a whole lot of money because you're developing product.
Yep.
But now we're at that point where some of our product that we developed, some of it we patented, some we tested. We're now getting ready to start putting that out to the market. We've got some new things that are coming up. And so that development has been going really well. And it's kind of crazy where things were 6 months ago compared was where we're at right now. So
a lot of change, and we'll be talking about the future coming up here. What I want to know is, how did that tie in? Because you're here to talk today. Our next segment is going to be the Fargo Fun. It's an El Zagel Shrine event. How did El Zagel and the Shrine? How did that all work in as you're hanging out shingles? Did you meet with them before you started, or did you meet with them when you still had a job, or when did that all start?
I met with them when I was in my own business.
Yeah.
I had a friend that came up to me and said, hey, have you ever considered the Shriners?
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, there's a Arabian room, bar there at El Zagel. So I thought, I'm just going to go in there and see how people treat me.
Yeah.
And so I sat down at the bar, and everybody was extremely friendly to me, nice to me.
Oh, it's a great place up there. I think a lot of people don't realize up there, the Shrine. It's a great little location, nice little spot. I used to go up there every week for business and beers back when we did that. It was a good time. I miss going up there. It was a long drive to do every single week because it's up on the north side and I'm south side. But it's great. And so what was commitment like? So you say, I'm going to join, or what?
Yeah, so I'm going to join. And then, the thing was, when I first joined, I was busy with my business, and I was thinking, I'm not really sure if this Shriners is for me, just because I'm just too busy.
Yeah.
But then we took a trip to the cities, to the hospital.
Yeah.
We met some of the kids. We met some of the families at the hospital.
Yeah.
And then, things kind of started to change a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then we went down to Florida, visited the headquarters hospital. And when we walked in, I asked they asked me what I'm looking for. I said, I'm a Shriner. They go, oh, this place is yours. What do you want to see? So that became very welcoming. So when I got back to Fargo after that, seeing that it was a much bigger purpose than life is, it's a big purpose of what it was. Got a little bit more committed, became the membership chairman. For 4 years, trying to recruit members into the Shrine. And then it would have been in January there where my work life just became overwhelming. So I did step away from the membership chairman. But the thing about the Shrine, it's always been the more people that I meet, the more kids that I meet, the more families that I meet, just seeing how kids are able to get around due to the Shrine, where they did not have to pay for that, how their families didn't have to pay for that. That's just kind of it's just a bigger calling of life of where.
And so El Zegel is it's a fraternal organization.
Yes, it is.
And a nonprofit. They do good works in the community, and I think a lot of people when you say El Zegel, they think of the circus. But you guys do lots of events, and all of these are to create proceeds for the good works that you guys are doing. Right?
Yep.
And then so coming up next, we're going to go ahead and talk about one of the events you guys have coming up, which is the Hole in One. So we'll do that right after this intermission. So don't go nowhere.